So you've seen the title of the video. We are getting a Dino Evo. We actually sent the car over a few months ago and work is well underway, but we wanted to check in and see how the build is getting on. So today we're going to have a walk around the workshop with the genius that is Kevin O'Rourke, the man behind Moto Technique, to discuss the Dino Evo project as a whole, our particular car, and some other cool stuff that he's got in the works.
But first, a quick history lesson on the Dino. In 1967, Ferrari unveiled the Dino 206 GT, a plucky, lightweight car with a 2-litre race-derived engine aimed squarely at the 911 of the day. 152 206s were built between 1967 and 69, but there had been fairly consistent calls for a bump in power, so in 1969 the Dino 246 saw the light of day, of which about 3,500 units were built. The uprated 2.4-litre engine made about 192 horsepower and, interestingly, would go on to power the Lancia Stratos rally car. The Dino had the distinct honour of being the first Ferrari road car with a mid-mounted engine, something that's gone on to be a mainstay of Ferraris until today, and is also the only car the brand ever made not to wear a Ferrari badge. Now there's a common misconception that Enzo felt a car without a V12 could never be a Ferrari. Thus, he had these cars badged Dino to avoid diluting the Ferrari brand, when in actual fact, Enzo had done so to honour his much beloved son Dino, who had designed the Dino engine family before his death in 1956, a family of engines that would be in use all the way up to the 360 Challenge Stradale. Now, as beautiful as the Dino still is today, no one has ever accused it of being a cutting-edge, high-performance sports car. But it's really got the constituent ingredients to get it most of the way there, provided it has a helping hand. And this is where Kevin O'Rourke and Moto Technique step in. And this was the genesis of the Dino Evo project.
I acquired a wreck of a Dino and I started to restore it, and I thought, hey, you know, I had an original Dino. Today a Volkswagen Golf's going to come past it, it's going to be embarrassing. Love the beauty of the car, but the performance is lacking.
Yeah.
So I knew that a V8 would fit in there from a previous experience. Mm-hmm. So I spoke with James at Eurospares,
yeah,
and I bought a 328 engine and gearbox, and funds were limited, so we put it on 355 throttle bodies and a cheap ECU, and that was pretty much it. And everybody thought I was mad, crazy, destroyed the value of the car, but it's my car, and it can all go back to standard, so
yeah.
what's the big deal? So from that point, there was a lot of interest. I got a call from David Lee in America. He wanted to buy my car. He offered me a king's ransom and a Dino.
Really? And
I said, no, at my age, I'd only be buying work. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, we'll send your car over from LA. So, and I must mention that they knew about my car because a very good photographer called Jace Fong took pictures of it and put it up on Petrolicious.
So that was the genesis.
That was the magic
moment. Yeah. And that was when it was still wearing its 360 wheels.
Yes, yes.
Which people may be, I don't know, glad, some of you, to hear that they're gone. But there's a treat in store for you, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
So that was the first of the iterations of the Dino Evo, was that David Lee car.
Yes, yes.
But there's been some quite substantial changes to the car since then, and in fact, even in recent years since the car's last been seen. So if we could go and have a look at the engine room to go through some of the detail, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sure. Perfect. Lead on.
Eurospares are the world's largest suppliers of both new and used parts for Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, Aston Martin, Porsche, and a host of other exotic brands. We have over 80,000 square feet of warehoused stock, including the rarest engines, the newest bodywork, and every service item that you could possibly imagine. You can head to the link in the description to check out our website, and if there is anything at all that you need, please don't hesitate to get in touch.
So, Kev, talk to me about the main changes that you guys have made. What's original, what's kind of off the shelf, what's bespoke? What are the big sort of overhauls that you guys have made?
Okay, well, Ferrari gave us a great piece of architecture. This engine is bomb-proof.
Really strong as hell.
You think in an F40, this goes over 700,000 horsepower if you want.
Wow.
Yeah. So, incredibly strong basic architecture. We have a bespoke crankshaft made in titanium cron rods.
Okay.
So we change the bore and stroke.
Yep.
So we go from 3.2 litres to 3.8 litres.
That's a big jump.
As we get the power. And then we've got our own special camshafts we've developed with Kent cams.
Okay. And that lets you put the red line up as compared to a normal 328?
Yes, we're actually looking for low down power and mid-range.
It's all about tractability, I guess.
Yes, it's got to be drivability. So the heads are gas flowed, and then larger inlet and exhaust valves put in, and that leads us on really to the fuel injection.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the finished article.
Okay, so here we've got Gen V throttle bodies.
Okay.
And we've got, obviously they're fitted to our manifolds, but here we've got a coilover plug ignition.
Sure.
And this gives us a great amount of adaptability when we're setting everything up. Mark Harrison, who does our dyno work, he actually sets the duration and the intensity of the spark.
Does he really?
Yeah.
So there's that level of kind of granularity to the mapping.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then he just says, it's going to start now. He just turns the key and boom.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's good to watch.
And in terms of the exhaust, you guys are obviously not using Dino exhaust anymore. You're using a 328 system, but it's special because...
a beautiful tubey system.
There we go.
The manifolds are a joy to look at. They've got beautiful little castings on the manifolds, which is all TIG welded together. Oh, it's beautiful. And then we use the matching silencer, tubey silencer.
And then in terms of the electronics, this is kind of one of the more recent changes that you guys have. Previously you were using the Motec ECU.
Yeah, well...
But now you're using Max.
I believe the guys are ex-Motec. They know what they're doing. In actual fact, it suits our application better than the original setup.
And so what are the kind of differences that you guys are
there's more channels and there's more adjustability, so we don't get popping and banging on the overrun.
Unless you want it.
Unless you want it.
and am I right in saying that you guys can now, and I think this is so cool, you guys can diagnose, check up on and push updates over the air to Dinos?
Yeah. We had a car in Scandinavia, had a problem because they couldn't get it through the emissions for their very stringent levels over there. So we plugged in here and Wi-Fi'd and adjusted the fueling, and they got through the MOT.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
And also, we can build in real-time recording. So,
oh really? So you can check on how people are treating the cars?
Yeah. See if they, revved it hard from cold.
That's amazing. Right. So now that we've had a look at sort of the engine that's going into our car, should we go and have a look at our actual car?
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, perfect.
So Kev, explain to me what the fundamental difference is between just a bog standard 246 Dino and the actual Dino Evo final product are. What are the big things that you changed to kind of improve or sort of modernise the car?
Yeah, big question. Obviously, first of all, we have to position the engine and transmission.
Of course.
Major consideration is heat management. So we're putting bigger radiators in the front, aluminium lightweight radiators.
You're running the F40 rad setup?
Yeah, similar to an F40, twin spool.
So
basically what we've done is taken all the knowledge and experience we gained on the Le Mans F40s and brought them to this.
That's it. It's a good place to learn the skill.
That's worse places. Yeah. So heat management is
heat management's a big bit. Yeah. Fine.
How you route pipes and hoses, what materials you're using is very, very important. So we've got the big radiator in the front, aluminium with twin spool fans, and then in the back we put another radiator with a control for the oil cooling. And
then in terms of actually locating the engine itself, do you have to do much modification to the chassis, or does it kind of relatively nicely fit in?
It's just about changing two cross members.
Okay, so it's actually not a huge overhaul.
No. You've got to know that this Dino chassis, the lineage goes right the way to the F40. An F40 chassis is a grown-up Dino chassis.
Is it really? So they're quite similar, because it's space frame construction, right?
Yeah, it's all the same. The oval tubes. Okay, the F40's got chrome moly, and this is just mould steel. But
the kind of fundamentals are very similar.
Yeah. So the main thing is the plumbing and the fueling, getting all that stuff in. You're tight for space, but we do it, and they work. I've driven my car down to the Ferrari factory for the 50th celebration, and it was like 40, 45 degrees.
And it's just
we had
sweet as a
the
nut.
aircon on, and it was sweet,
That's perfect.
Never boiled up.
So heat management, getting the engine in. All of the ones that you've done have been GTSs, correct?
Oh, we're doing one GT at the moment, which is over at my son O'Rourke Coach Trimmers, having the interior done.
So that'll be the first non-GTS,
GT.
First GT. Okay. Now this is the actual car in question. What state was it in when it came here? What were the big bits of work that you had to do to get it up to scratch? Where are we at? Where are we going?
Yeah, it was a typical Dino these days. Very rusty and overpriced.
As they all are.
As they all are. So we took the car. So it was a runner. So we road tested it, did reports on it, and then we commenced taking it apart. So it was stripped back to a bare shell, and then we cut some of the bodywork away for access, and then the car went to a specialist blasting shop locally, and that took off all the corrosion and old paint, and revealed a lot of rude repairs, horror stories. Normal
So it had a
stuff.
bit of a history to it.
Yeah, but we're used to all that. No big surprises. So then we've said about the bodywork. We're probably 80% through the metalwork now.
Okay.
We've just got to finish this front. So this new panel here, this started off as a flat piece of steel, and it's been wheeled up on the English wheel, all shaped up. A lot of detail tapping and hammering around here and forming to get the grille to fit and the lights to fit neatly. So that's mostly behind. This will be welded in later today. Job done. And then if we move around the car, you'll see here, so this is an aluminium door skin.
And this
So
was also just sheet aluminium
this is
at
just
one
a flat
stage.
piece of aluminium, and you can see it's been welded, that section. And
This is what's so incredible, and I think that maybe people don't realise is how artisanal
Yeah.
your approach is to this. I mean, how many people are still hand beating and hand rolling shapes like this into sheet metal?
yeah, not
It's
too many.
incredible. It's
And we're lucky to
absolutely
have young people doing this.
Yeah, but you're keeping it alive, Kevin. That's very admirable.
Yeah.
Now the arches, I can see here that there's some welding. Now, am I right in saying that this is actually gas welded?
Yes, oxyacetylene gas welded.
I mean, again, that's another art that's very much dying.
Yeah,
Not a
and
lot of people are doing
It's
that.
all hammered up smooth, so if you look on the inside, it's as pretty as the outside. Most
So-
people just MIG weld,
Yeah,
semi-skilled.
exactly. And then it's going to sand it off.
Yeah.
Have we decided what colour this is going yet?
Yeah, it's going to be really tasty, like a sort of Kingfisher blue metallic.
Blue
yeah.
Julie, right?
Yeah, it's going to
Okay,
be really
okay.
nice.
I'll get some blue Julie up on the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
It's a really beautiful colour.
I think these cars are so special; they deserve a special colour.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
I don't want to do another black one.
No.
No, or red.
And I can see that the car's actually got a slave engine in it at the moment. Is this so you can
Yeah.
set up the manifolds and the exhaust and all that stuff?
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you look through there, you see the beautiful tubey manifolds.
Yes, there they are. And the
Good
back box is
hole.
down here as well.
Yeah. So we're just in the middle of making the connector pipes,
Okay.
and we'll do that in house.
And so how long until this is done and on to the next stage?
Oh, we've probably got 3 weeks to 4 weeks.
Okay, so be about a month and then it moves
it's going
on.
well. It's going well. It takes 18 months to 2 years to build one of these cars.
But I mean, you can see
Yeah.
because this is not paint by numbers stuff. This
No,
is
no,
really dedicated, as I
Yeah.
said, artisanal craftsman work.
Yeah,
It's
we
really
love it.
amazing.
We love it.
Shall we go and have a look at your car? Because there's a couple of things that you've done to
Yeah.
it recently
Okay.
that I'd like to talk about.
Sure, no problem.
Cool, let's have a go.
Let's go.
So here is the Pride and Joy, Kev.
Yep.
This is her, and she's had some work done to her recently.
Yes, we freshened her up. She was showing her age. It's been all over Europe, and we've done lots of modifications to uprate her, and now I'm finally happy with her. Yeah.
Because so you've had this car for 20-ish
Nearly
years.
20 years, yeah.
Lebanese car.
Yeah,
Went to Bahrain, yeah.
Bahrain, yeah.
And where did you actually buy it?
It was somewhere up near Oxford.
Oh,
The guy
really?
asked me to go and do an estimate to repair it. He'd gone off around the world travelling, working, and actually got busy with life and forgot he owned a Dino. So he came back after 20-something years and saw a Dino driving down the road and thought, shit, I used to have one of those. Oh, so he went
I
back
still
to
have
the
one of
garage,
those.
and he'd never paid them storage, and they just pushed it out in the rain.
Really?
So I bought the wreckage.
So this car is the test bed, the mule
Yeah, yeah.
that you've developed stuff on. And originally, it had a 355 fueling system on it and things like that.
it still has, yes.
Oh, it still does. But this is what you've developed the whole project on, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually quite nice because it's a bit, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know, you are literally putting your money where your mouth is, and this is your car, which I think is really admirable. I've noticed the Nitron suspension.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably talk about the Nitron suspension and also the brakes.
Yeah, sure.
So walk me through the kind of the philosophy here.
Okay, Nitron, great company based near Oxford, very helpful. The boss comes down here and chats with us through everything, and whatever we want, they will make for us.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That's really
good
nice.
company.
And are they helping you with the setup, or is that all done in-house?
Kirk, my mechanic, he actually does the setup.
Does he? Okay,
Yeah.
wicked.
Yeah, and he's. You'll see shortly. I think he's got a great balance. It's firm but fair. And then we've got 360 brakes and Brembo calipers.
And those, so the new Campagnolo wheels that you've had made.
Yes,
In fact,
yes.
I don't even think we've talked about those, have we,
Okay.
Kev?
No, well, we should do because
Yes.
they're a treat, aren't they? They're beautiful.
Yeah,
so
no, they're
the
stunning.
cam pegs were originally 14-inch and used a big balloon tyre. So we worked with Crosswaith and Gardner, and they've redeveloped them for us and had them recast. And so they're now 17 inches. And we've got 9-inch wheels on the back, 7.5 on the front. So,
and the other thing, Kev, is that obviously the big bit of controversy about your last car, well, it's the car's last guys rather, was the 360 wheels.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm assuming that the haters finally got to you, and that's why you've changed them.
Not really.
No, and I tell you why I know that's the truth. It's because the left side is grey and the right side is bronze, and I know you have just done that to wind people up.
We've got to keep the haters focused.
I can't believe how good the ride is.
Lovely, isn't it?
It's so good.
Kirk set it up.
No, you are 100% right. He's done a very good job.
That's good, look. We get a good run.
Jesus, it goes, man.
And the next thing I know, Kevin turns around and says that I could have a go. And I mean, who wouldn't jump at that opportunity?
The gearbox is lovely, Kev.
It's getting better. It was stiff at first, but you know,
Do you know what,
with
the clutch isn't actually so bad, to be honest with you. The clutch isn't actually so bad.
Okay.
God, and it's got so much torque. You can just instantly feel that. And the other thing, the steering's incredibly light as well. And there's no dead zone either. Like any movement, the car goes. Wow. And again, the brakes are really delicate and communicative as well. I'm very impressed.
Good feedback.
Yeah.
Hit it. Wow, that is impressive, isn't it? It just goes.
Kev, thank you so much for letting me drive that. I am blown away is an understatement. I cannot believe how comprehensive the difference is between a standard Dino and that car. But then more to the point, how complete a package that car presents. It does everything. It does the low speed town driving. It will make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. It does everything. I am so impressed, and I'm so grateful that you let me have a go, mate. I really am. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I'm genuinely slightly lost for words. Now, that's going to be the end of sort of what we've discussed today. However, there is one last thing that we wanted to touch on, which is this little thing behind us. So if you
quite a special
tell us a little bit about it.
So here we got a. I think this car's going to break the internet.
I think it is.
We're looking at nearly 600 horsepower in a Dino.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So Eurospares kindly supplied us with a 458 engine, 436 speed manual transmission. We've got massive Brembo brakes and calipers here, carbon ceramic, 430 suspension, so we can have ABS and traction control. Again, heat management was a big issue, so we've got that fixed. Next job is to sort out all the wiring, the electronics, but it's all going well. All the big decisions have been taken, they're behind us. We're very, very happy with the progress, as is the owner.
And I cannot wait to see the finished product.
Well, you have to come back.
Yes, indeed we will.
Please do, you'll be very welcome.
Thank you, Kev.
Yeah,
Really appreciate it.
I look forward to sharing it with you. Cheers.
See you soon.
Thank you, lads.